Peace, man. Good morning. Blessed day, grand rising. However you greet and meet today, I'm sending that to you. I had to come back and do it live. Everybody gets on me and says, "Hey, Yanga, you need to schedule these things. These pop ups aren't cool." Listen, sometimes that's how it goes, man. Just just got off a show with the first lady GTO. Shouts out to GTO. I appreciate her for tolerating me during her time and her platform. We try to respect each other's place. This is why I love the arena. They tolerate my black ass over here. They allow me to pop up on their platforms. Shout out to her platform. I don't even know what I came up and ruined. I appreciate you for tolerating the old head first lady. That's why I fucks with you. Shouts out to Team Arena, man. Definitely best team in the motherfucking world, if you ask me. I'm just really being introduced to the YouTube thing. So getting into it, not only my being inducted into it, I feel like by a great team, I'm being schooled and introduced to certain aspects of the game by a great team, man. So shouts out to my team, man, Team Arena. Shouts out. Then I want to send out another shout out, man. I want to send out a shout out to Dark Side. I know y'all be like, damn, these are the craziest. But no, really. I respect the candor, the valor, the courage, that Blue shows in holding his team down. He came and held it down, stood up under some fire, threw some blows, raised some very interesting, strong points that, I was like, okay, strong point, touche. You got to make a good point. But however, call me biased. I think the questions and some of the things we had, I know what Rio brought through when he came through with the whole presentation on Whoopi Goldberg, Ted Danson, and shit like that. To me, was like, boom, really a home run. Shouts out to Rio, but then again, that's a Team Arena thing, man. If you didn't catch that show, go back, catch that show. It's some funny moments, some heated moments, some ups and downs, but definitely shout out to Darkside. And I have come saying that has brought me to the conclusion. I am going to separate my shots because all of that is not dark side. Though I may still question some of the philosophy, I may have questions for that. I don't have to come so aggressive. If Lex and I have an issue, I need to keep it with Lex. Like someone pointed out, is like, look, he's even Lex Vortex TV. You have to separate it'd be wise. Yeah, and this was somebody that just watches you. They don't even participate in this. They just been following me through it, and every now and then they're calling advice, and they like, so what's the connection with them? And I'm like, this and that. And he's like, but you going hard this way, and it don't take all that. I'm like, I guess because they really provide the only fight. You know what I'm saying? They're the real, that's where the soldiers are. So, but there is no fight where there is no fight. So shouts out to Darkside, shouts out to Inyame, King Kofi, everybody over there, yada yada. Now let's go on with the show. Let's go on here what I came to talk about. That's what I'm talking about. Let's do that. Can y'all hear me? Somebody let me know if they can hear me. Okay, it's cool. Look. Caught Juju and GT on the panel, and I need somebody to come walk me through and not get deep. I mean, GTO, she's deep. She understands it. She's been in this shit for a minute. She knows the players, and she's calling out the names and the nefarious plots behind their schemes and what they're putting out. And I don't know it like that. I am such a novice to, like I can't even say I know Kevin Samuels. I know he was this YouTube sensational brother, not just a sensationalist. I heard that some of the advice he gave was, I don't know. I had never really just sat and listened to him. Like I said, if I had come to YouTube, it's probably for some old ass hip hop Public Enemy KRS-One type shit. You know what I'm saying? If I do come or to do the show. So I am very naive to other channels. A lot of time, more times than not, when I've been introduced to other channels, they have been entertaining. I just was wanted to get this off so bad, I'm actually missing the channel that I listen to. Shouts out to Chris Harris. You know what I'm saying? Morning Rap with Chris. I usually listen to that. That's like I let him replace the talking heads on the television. I just turn him on and just listen to him like, good points, good point. Every now and then he make me jump in the motherfucker. Very engaging and controversial at times show, but it's never below a certain standard. I enjoy that. And then when I want to get gritty and this and that, I was introduced to Judah Nazareth. That's when you want, that's your late night action. When you might want to laugh or something. It be serious, but it's the way shit is presented. It is hilarious because it's like being on the stoop. We know we done heard this shit. We get so righteous that, I don't listen to that. Man, come on, man. It's like when the homies get the clowning and kicking it. It is hilarious, man. Shouts out to that boy Ching Ching. Hold shit down, man. That man. You know what I'm saying? So there are some good. I can see why they say YouTube streets. It's a whole city out here. And you have your sectors, I guess that's what they call in the neighborhoods. So you want to be careful where you bend the block. Some sectors, beef sector, war zones. These niggas at it. You might get hit in the crossfire. Yanga, we see you, bitch ass nigga. Oh, crossfire. Ow, I've been hit. So you have to be careful. Anyway, call the show. Like I said, and I don't know the depths of this, but only thing I can do is just keep it real from the way I see it, my perspective. Invite an open panel. Here, let me drop the link. What am I doing? Let me open it up. We'll do it like that. I'll drop the link. Have a open panel discussion so someone can not only quite possibly answer some of these questions, but school me. Bring me up to speed, man. Don't let your brother Yanga be out there like that. If you like me, you inform me. You dig? If you like me, you inform me. Don't let me jump out there like that. Okay, GTO said, let's see, GTO she gonna walk me through this. This is what she do. She taking care of them babies, and this is how she operates best. I appreciate her. That way it's not in and out. She have to be in and out. Okay, she says Netta joined the manosphere and many other so-called conscious brothers. And I get it. I think that here's the ups and downs. Let's look at the ups and downs of categorization and compartmentalization. Meaning the what do we call them? The sectors. It's categorization and compartmentalization. The good of it is we know where everything's at. Everybody know they click. You can form up. You can gauge your strengths, your weaknesses. It's always good. I believe in communalism. You know what I'm saying? And communalism in general principle is that the gathering, the collective working for whatever they perceive the greater reward or good of their group. Some it's clicks and fames, other it's to create a machine that really is disseminating information. The baddest thing, that's why I said what we're doing here at the arena, we're pioneering. We're bringing it all together because we understand all of that's a part of a society. GTO is the first lady because she is and speaks for a demographic that exists within our community. We can't get into, I heard somebody say, what, an echo chamber? You can't get in some shit where you don't have people that disagree with you that don't represent a segment of the nation you're trying to build. There is a segment of demographic, a large demographic segment that GTO represents. And her voice should be respected and she should be given the ability to her. Sometimes I get my chauvinist shit, jump on her shit, and she respect Big Brother, air his ass, go, hey, look, let me take the babies to school, nigga. Peace. Set you up a show. Okay? Holla at you, love you, Yanga, peace. You know what I'm saying? I know family. I respect the guy. You know what I'm saying? That's what little sisters do. It's what big brothers do. Hey, I heard you. I see your ass at the club. Who that fucking nigga you dance with? Hey, you ain't my daddy. That's what big brothers do. So I'm coming, big brother trying to come and find out why not just his little sister, but even the sisters that hang with his little sister feel that way. What's going on with these little, because I'm 50. What's going on with these little Negroes y'all got to pick from? Here's why I don't take offense, because I'm 50. You ain't talking about me, 30 and 40-year-old little niggas trying to figure it out. I'm trying to recover from the bad decisions. I'm done with those days. I am no longer a Thundercat to that degree. I see it coming. I'm like, Duck boy, I don't have to bam. Okay. I remember, yeah. So I'm recovering from the time when the old head told me to duck and I ain't listen. wearing a knot. I'm now nursing that knot. You just got you one. Welcome to the club. So that's where I'm at with these young men. But I'm trying to figure out why, to such a degree, the vehemence and why the absolute I feel like what's the word I'm looking for, man? Y'all help me out, brothers. If y'all where you're not holding yourself accountable. You're not taking control of your destiny. You're being very reactionary. I guess that's what sits wrong with me as a revolutionary. I guess that's what sits wrong with me as a revolutionary. It's hard to be reactionary. It's hard to be, well, we act like this because they do that. I I never that has never really sat well with me. One time I seen it expressed in a movie. You know, I'm an old movie lover too. Ah man, I got some weird ass ways. That's why I don't like black being painted with a broad brush because I do some shit and enjoy some shit. Many of you, I don't know, you new generation, y'all accepted any fucking thing. So I don't know. Maybe I can come out with my Ted Turner movie classic. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm a Ted Turner movie classic watcher. You know, because y'all going for everything. Y'all going for all kind of fuck shit. Maybe y'all accept the old movies that white people in. But anyway, there's this movie called Lion of the Desert. It's a cold movie. Got my man Anthony Quinn. Anthony Quinn. And he's playing, it's during World War II when the Germans were moving into the North Africa and stuff. So they're battling these Muslim. And they call this one Muslim general the Lion of the Desert. And so they get these Germans, they didn't capture these Germans. They got them lined up. One of the young little warriors, one of the little young mujahideen, he runs up and takes the gun and he shoots the officer in the back of the head. Boom. So the Lion of the Desert asked him, he said, man, why you do that? And the young one told him, they would have done us, they would have killed us had they caught us. And the Lion of the Desert asked that young man, he said, since when do they become our teachers? I never forgot that. That shit was dope. He said, since when do they become our teachers? Wow, man. I guess, you know, certain shit sits with you. And I had never forgotten that. And every now and then, you know what? I think I'm going to look at that today. And that's the question I pose. Since when do they become our teachers? Kevin Samuels, Man Fear, Women's Fear, we make them as influential in our community as they have to be. I don't think it's deeper than that. And it may be, and I may be looking at a different perspective. Like I said, I came up from a different time. I was influenced by different things. They may hold that much sway. I won't downplay it. I know how serious influence is. I saw the shift from the KRS-One and the Public Enemies to the NWA. And with the shift, with the influence shift, I saw the social cultural fabric of the black community shift. And it wasn't just that, it was chemical warfare levied against us, endorsed by the music and the lifestyle that the music promoted and portrayed. Then they, like I said, leveled chemical warfare, crack cocaine became a thing, and then turned around and waged the state war. Just say no, war against drugs, and giving niggas 100 years for crack cocaine and 6 months in the county for powder. The same sucker bringing it in, Ronald Reagan, his wife is the same woman that sponsored and was the face of a war campaign against the same chemical he's bringing in. Y'all watch Snowfall. I lived through that. I ain't saying I was him with all the money. I'm saying the effect, like when I haven't seen him, I had to stop watching it. Because, you know, when you certain things, I seen what my mother was talking about when I used to watch some little Panther movies, and I'd be like, watch this, Mom. She said, I can't watch that shit. I can't watch that shit. because she lived through it. So it was hard for her to watch the sensationalization of a very real time. And though I understand it's entertainment and they can't do it off of time's sake, and also, like I said, sensationalism, and to draw a crowd, it has to be hyped and, overblown for. But people who live through that shit, sometimes that shit is difficult. That's why they love those movies, the more accurate. I've seen them. I took my father to see Malcolm X when that came out with Denzel. When the lights came on, he was still sitting there, tears rolling down his face when they assassinated Malcolm. I mean, he was still the betrayal. He was like, wow. He was like, man, was that a betrayal? He wasn't confused that it was Malcolm. It was the betrayal because he was living through that era. So to see it recaptured, to see the dedication and commitment and work that they had put in to recapture that, and that elicited from him such strong emotions and sentiments, man, kudos. That quickly became one of my favorite movies. But at the same time, we have the count of that. We have a music culture and everything that pushes misogyny. It pushes, and not just misogyny at this point, man. I mean, that's why I say women got to take accountability for themselves and still want to throw it on us. I heard a sister say some deep shit. This is a capitalist, commercialist, materialist era. Ain't no way around it. And what you see is endorsed and promoted by capitalism. All the way from the manosphere and the women's sphere, sensationalism, the weirder you can get, the most provocative things you can say on here, the most outlandish and foolish things. From fuck God to kill black babies in the womb. Click, 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 click. Motherfuckers gonna click on just to hear how crazy you can get with this shit, even if they believe it or not. Let me see what this crazy motherfucker talking about. Click, 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 click. The next thing you know, you got a YouTube commercial on your shit. You got this, and I get it. It's commercial as fuck. It's capitalism. It's YouTube capitalism. I'm starting to get hip to the game. I had ducked for a long time. I beat up on this shit, and I couldn't get it. I was sitting somewhere wounded, licking wounds. Like, what the fuck? What happened? What happened? Now I get it. YouTube capitalism. Shouts out to Black Sun, man. He told man, sometimes you gotta laugh this shit out, get ugly. Yeah, it hurt when motherfuckers bite you behind because they get caught up in scandal and shit behind the scenes and this shit. That shit hurt, but there's a whole sector for that. I don't get involved with that shit. No disrespect to love connections and all of that shit. I'm just old and I don't know nothing about no motherfucking computer, so I can't fall in love through the YouTube. That's all it is. It's a new era, new generation. I'm not judging your groove and how you move. You dig? I'm just an old head. And this computer shit, man, I'm still fascinated at just click. Oh, hey, look at this. Well, somebody look at this. You can type in a word, push a button, it'll take you to the word. I'm still fascinated with that shit. Click. Wow. It probably shows in my presentations of the debates. I'm just confident in what I'm saying. So I do put it, click. Wow. Okay, it does have a word in here. It does have, because I know the debate ain't about the word, but about the message, getting that point across. Do you feel what I'm trying to tell you? I just had to use this to try to emphasize or re-emphasize the message. But I don't, I'm all over the place. Lil Morning Rap. Lil Morning Rap. I just wanted to rap with you. It's rough. Okay. I ain't even reading I'm going to, let me see. The New Black Manosphere, Isaiah, White Woman, Woo Child. You gonna make me look at that sickness. But like you said on your thing, it's disgusting. So I don't know how much I want to really look at it. But I want to talk about the effect that has on the very fact that it's manosphere and womansphere. I question this whole war of the sexes within our community. And if there is a gender war that exists within our community, I question what battleground we're fighting it on. Who are the people waging this war? Like that Kevin, I'm here. Listen, I'm here to drop this, and everybody may come back with daggers and try to drop bombs on me. Kevin Samuels did not invent I don't know, GTO broke it down a lot more than I did. The social, cultural proximity, the eradication of class, he did not. It's an age-old thing. That's what revolution largely is founded on the exploitation of people for the masses of people for a small percent. The inability for the masses of the people to really reap the reward of their labor for the greed of a few. So class reinforces that. You have to have class, and in order to maintain a class, you have to have systems in place. You have to have systems in place. You maintain a class by, I tell you one system America has in place to do it. You maintain a system by felonies. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The scarlet letter, buddy. The big red F. Felon. Oh yeah. What's up, GTO? Come on up. Are you up? There you go. So you obtain, you begin to, that right there will start to regulate you to a class. I'm checking to see if GTO's coming up. There she goes. Peace.
I never said he invented the talking point. I never even said that he eradicated or he. No, I said he had that talking point in that space where nobody else was saying that. Well, it wasn't a lot of men that were saying it. You feel what I'm saying? But it's still really a talking point that, yeah, he got from what you was just saying, or a lot of black spaces been saying that. That's not new, but in that space that was growing, you know, black people started to hear it, but they also started to hear the contradiction. That's why I said he was wrong, because the 100,000 shit he kept throwing out there, the 6-figure shit he kept throwing out there. And
so what do you think his
a lot of black men
was?
Huh? Like, hold on, because I can't hear you. Oh, my phone was turned down. My fault. What you were saying?
What do you think his attraction was? What do you think his appeal was? What made everybody want to hear this man speak about this particular subject?
That was because the way it was like in a very professional way, he would make black women cry. That was the real reason. Like, we would, you know.
How do you do that in a professional way? Last time I heard somebody say that in a professional, that's called pimping.
I mean, he would be disrespectful. Yeah, like basically like that type of way, like in that way. But it's weird to say that pimping, because like he a gay ass nigga. He's so sweet. So it's just like, and even that was like, why is y'all calling this man? Why is y'all asking him, y'all deserve a high value man?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, so what made him the expert? Why did everybody feel like he was the expert on it? Was it the way he dressed, the way he spoke?
They was pushing that, and that's how I know our people is stuck or stupid, because I'm like, all you niggas, most of you niggas claim to not even fuck with gay people. He got caught with a man in his bed and all this shit, and he asking men how big they dick is, and nigga, you know how big your dick is, like, you know. So I couldn't understand the fascination. That's why I said what it was is a lot of black men in that space was willing to side with a lot of BS as long as it made black women look a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? That's where the irritation comes in it, you know, on a lot of black women's part. And that's why me and Juju was laughing, because we was basically saying like, yo, it's black women that stand up for the black man 10 toes down in that space, and they parrot the talking points of these men. And I think a lot of them, well, I can't say all of them. We got some women that's BSing for money, and they do say so in certain spaces outside the manosphere. But the black women that's been doing this for years, they never put them on a pedestal the way they put that white woman. That white woman started coming to black spaces and really taking over. And it's just like, the fact that it's just seemed weird, because even how Kevin died, like before he died, he was always talking shit about Big Shirley, but before he died, nigga, you died with a fat white prostitute, you know.
So I mean, but I'm trying to go back. Like, I could have. I'm not surprised. Any of that you saying?
So what you said is true about the hypocrisy, but it was a white woman. It was white, like, you know, Spanish speaking lady, but it's deep
But
or whatever. Like we just
exactly.
gonna
But
have to
here's
come
my
up with a series on
but here's
debunking a lot of this disgusting gender war
like
BS. You
yeah,
know,
like because my thing is right because one of the areas I'm asking about is to me is where it starts. Who gave because we have to give people authority in our life. We give people the power and authority
oh,
to
they took
ask.
it. They stole it from the white man.
Okay,
The white
so
man is here.
is
Or
it that he represented a version of success to us or something? What I'm trying to get back to is like, why
people
was he the
found out
motherfucker?
the way he dressed and stuff like that, how
Okay,
flashy he was,
okay,
like
because
with
I'm
the
about to go back
suits.
and watch. Okay,
People, and then he would try to, change the trajectory of how black men would dress and stuff like that, try to convince black men,
oh
get on your cologne business and,
yeah,
you
yeah,
start dressing like a high
yeah.
value man, people will start treating you like one, start wearing suits, and basically, and he would encourage black men to, go back to school, try to get their hustle on and stuff like that. That hustle mentality, that red
Mm-hmm.
pill community really is serious about changing their life, men going to the gym. And then you have an extreme version of that, which is another version of the black manosphere. You have the black pill community. Now, the black pill community, they completely blacked out from dating. A lot of them is black incels, which means that involuntary, uh, they didn't volunteer to be celibate. They so antisocial and they so gave up on women that some of them want to be with a man because they hate women so much. They say women made them be gay. That
So
community
that's
is gone.
see, I
And
mean, but
then,
how is that? But that's what I mean. So let me stop there. Yeah, let me stop there because all of that right there, and that's what I mean by a broad brush. Now, all of y'all holler black men,
I'm still
the
not
black
finished.
man, the black men. Y'all paint with such a general brush, and you sit there and tell me about three, four different. You even can categorize and break them down to section subsections. That's why I think some of y'all women be intentional, sensational. I be think y'all be fucking with us. Y'all like to see us do tricks. Can you hear me?
No,
Yeah.
I'm laughing. No, I'm laughing at you because I said so. I'm gonna bring it to you. That's the crazy
Yeah.
thing. We're gonna come up with a series called like the debunking the gender war shit. Come up with something slick, Django.
Okay. Okay.
Something
We could,
slick
no, I'm gonna
for
put that
for
on
this
you to come
series.
up with something. No, I'm gonna put that on you to come with something slick. Cause I'm with it. Cause like first, like
Oh,
let's go
I'm
back
good
to
at it. I could do that.
okay. Cause first, let's go back to Kevin Samuels. That's first where it starts with me. You know what I'm saying? Like I believe that I am the master of my destiny, captain of my ship, type of thing. Yada 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 yada. So we
But you
decide
got to
to look.
understand that there's men that came before Kevin Samuels, okay?
Okay.
Kevin Samuels
Okay.
had a beef with Tommy Sotomayor. Tommy Sotomayor, he's the most disgusting man in the black sector.
But
He's so
how?
disgusting. He's so disgusting. He got banned from YouTube. He can't come back on YouTube because
But
he's so
that's
disrespectful to
but that's
black women.
that's what I'm talking about. That right there. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? We make that like that. So we accept it. And I ain't knocking my man's hustle. I don't know any of these cats. However, I didn't to be mistaken for actual advancement. What I'm saying, when you asked the question one time, when you was talking about agents and, is that kind of minimalizing? What I mean by agents in the sense of like what you talk about the matrix, like how red pill, black pill, this and that. That's what I mean by agents, subconscious agents. If you watch the Matrix, you remember when
Oh, they also took that concept from the Matrix, the red
right,
pill thing. So don't
exactly,
get it
exactly, exactly,
twisted.
exactly, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's where I'm getting talking about the Matrix from. When I talk about the agents, you remember how they used to jump into people. Zzz, the agent could use anybody. Zzz, jump in the person. You ain't up on the agent.
Yes, yes, yes,
If
yes.
they would change, they might just use that person because they're plugged in the matrix. That's what this agent is. A lot of times, just sensationalism is just that. What ends up happening is you get people like, and I'm even gonna say the dark side. I'm gonna shout out dark side, the arena, who are coming on with these motherfucking solutions and shit, and we get swept into generalization. You know what I'm saying? Y'all learn to say the black man, and then try to paint us with not only a broad stroke of brush of what y'all saying the black man, but even sometimes try to hit us with the specific brush or using in comparison these Manosphere and Thomas Sotomayor and Kevin Samuels and shit, and we're here to say, hey, there's a
I
distinction.
love the way you say the names and did.
We're here to make a distinction. And we're demanding that our black women begin to make that distinction also. You can't get pissed because whatever your personal relationship, however the fuck that went that way, and now you're ready to pay the broad stroke because you weren't exposed to other ethnicities. Like you said, the social cultural proximity. We getting niggas with same social culture, understanding the dynamic that's going on, yada yada yada. We know the spiel. But we have to take, that's where we have to begin to change it. We have to begin to change it. It may look like I'm trivializing it. Now the question is, how do we do that? But I know we don't do it by sisters trying to lay the blame and brothers trying to lay the blame. I think we have to, like you said, debunk the gender myth, and we have to get specific. What's your fucking grievance with me, black woman? The fuck wrong with you? And don't bump into no economic power, no political power to suppress you on that level. So don't be mad at me for some shit Biden did for you. Let's be specific. Did I not take out the motherfucking trash? Did I miss a birthday? Did I cuss the kid out too much? If we separate them, are not coming around. I don't know, but we need to be specific about your beef with the black man. I don't want to hear 1.1 time a black woman is killed by the hands of a black man by the gun. Come on, man, that's so fucking. I'm not gonna nope. I'm gonna give me that one. No.
I said every 5.5 hours.
Yeah. Or that time too.
Now here's the thing. I asked you, did you believe in that or did you know about that? Because I mean, when I first looked into it, I mean, I just feel like it's a stretch to try to, create a gap between black people in general, like the relationships, because you think about every 5 hours, how deep that is and stuff like that. And I'm just sitting here like, well, white people, if y'all saying this, where's the goddamn news articles? Y'all gonna have to come out with a news article because I have to measure this shit and see it. You understand what I'm saying, Yanga? Mm-hmm. They might come out, huh?
Go ahead. I'm listening.
If it's every 0.5 hours, it's no way to measure that. And you can't go crazy being obsessed with it. Like how Black Son is studying the Russia situation. But like,
Black Son is a black Bolshevik. Y'all better recognize.
I'm fucking around. But it's like I never got on that level because at the end of the day, just like you said, Yanga, certain things around black people and black crime, that shit is painful to watch. It's like I call it black pain porn. You feel what I'm saying? Black trauma porn. So it's just like, it's also a level of, can you handle that? Because I wasn't even finished. You ain't even let me finish breaking it down. You said it's going to get more disgusting. Hell no. But
no. Because I don't want it to get disgusting. You're going to break it down. We're going to do that series. Because we're going to need clips and shit. You're going to have to walk me through it. Right now.
Yeah, because I don't even like how StreamYard works. How StreamYard do when it share the screen from my devices. That's why I said we're gonna have to need another device of mine. Because my laptop, it'll share, but it'll act stupid through StreamYard. It only act fine through other streaming platforms, because StreamYard not the only one. You got Melon app and stuff like that, and Eve Mux. It'll work for that, but for StreamYard, it'll act dumb. And StreamYard the highest one. I'd be like, y'all need to get on Zoom. And then on Zoom, you can go share your screen on your phone, just download Zoom. But I mean, it is what it is. But
I mean, we're gonna find a way to do that. But next time you shout out them companies, send them your invoice. We ain't doing no commercials for the motherfuckers. Send us some money. Fuck all y'all platforms. All of them suck. They charging us. All of them fucking suck. Until you send us a check. When we get that check in the mail, we're going to be like, StreamYard's the best platform in the world. Home of the arena. But yes. Fuck y'all. Fuck StreamYard. Shit. So,
and then you don't even and then Yanga, you is so right, because I didn't even realize, it's deep. What I didn't realize too is that it's so deep now on YouTube. These numbers that people get is really something that you can pay for now. You can pay for views. You can pay for views and of likes.
I just
listen. And I'm not talking about no robots. I mean, it show up on people recommendations because you pay for the promotion through YouTube. YouTube place your content through ads, or sometimes just keep posting it through people community tab that wouldn't have watched you. Or if you hashtag a certain sector or whatever, it'll show up on your timeline. That'll bring the people in. And it's just like this YouTube first video. I mean, you got some people that can put their shit on private or can start over. But it's just like, this appears to be this person's first video. Why do they have over 1,000 people in their chat, 800 people in their chat, right? Or sometimes it will say, "This is my first stream." Hi guys, 1,000 people in their chat. So like, yeah, you right. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's game, man. It's YouTube capitalism. I'm learning about it. You know, I think West Food, and then I don't like to even mention other people's names on here because I have different understandings of like this, you know, whole side netta thing. I don't know nothing behind the scenes. I don't know none of that. I remember the gentleman.
Wait, you never been on his show before?
No.
I mean, I don't really know.
Yeah, I've been on the show. I've been on his show one time inadvertently. I didn't even know I was on the scene. I go so far back. It was Black Sun and I think we was debating the Moore in the park. And the Moore up the pit. We got the Moore so pissed. The motherfucker, did he brandish a firearm, Black arm? I asked him, I said, what are you doing at a black event? Now you had with these crackers, you ain't up in firearms and shit. You mad at our conversation more, Islam more, and you want to brandish a firearm, man. You want to up a firearm on the black man, on the God. Let's just talk. We talking. You know what I'm saying? I had his fans spinning. I ain't mad though. So I think Sarnetta caused some of that. One of my things, because what I remember, I think Sarnetta from, he was 101 Black News. The thing that put him in effect, he was everywhere.
Oh, I remember that. You right.
Yeah, man, he was everywhere. When you talk about the conscious community, Sarnetta was like the media for that. You know, I hate, and I don't even put it on the brother that the quality of maybe YouTube viewers or his viewership, and it ain't knocking his viewership or nothing like that, has gotten to the point where sensationalism seems to be more than, you know, what I remember him back in the day for. But I stay away from all of that because I don't even want side. I ain't said shit. I feel like
Side. I'm not gonna lie. I went over there, check things out, just to, you know, do a little peeping.
I've never been over there. Never been on the show.
Like, okay, so here's my perspective. Just I'm echoing it. Am I echoing? Okay, I just wanted to make But I just wanted to say that, like, okay, so just seeing how, don't you know how Black Sun joke about how, oh yeah, we have our own little beef island in the solar quote unquote sector and our own little conscious island, right? And YouTube. So when I look at Sarnetta, right?
Wait a minute.
Huh?
Solar sector. When Solar get a sector?
No, I'm just joking. I said quote unquote. You gotta see my finger.
Nah, we ain't finna get Solar. You ain't got that from me. We're not finna crown Solar sector yet. Over here where
no, because all these people started around S video. I'm talking about the beef. I'm talking about the beef. The beef sector in our own little, that's why I said in our own little conscious island. I'm talking about that part from Solar platform. Okay. Just the beef surrounding that from the league, right?
Okay, right.
From the arena to darks, all that BS, right?
Okay, got you.
Sarnetta, right? He's very consistent. He had a lot of heavy hitters on his channel. Just observing and not being like just from the outside looking in. I probably got to study a little bit more what he's doing now to try to get a better critique. But from what I could see, once your platform start growing, it's gonna be the nigga shit. I feel like he's been managing it well.
I don't think it has to be nigga shit though.
No, I'm not even talking about the nigga shit because he don't do the doxing and all that. Like, he can't help if people do that from the outside looking in. But it's just like, okay, this is something that he's good at. He's entertaining. He also bring the knowledge. He's good at debates. I think personally he should change his format a little bit better. Because I feel like Solar, he got that down pat. But anyway, as far as Sarnetta is concerned, I feel like because his platform is so big, Sarnetta's been doing this for a long time. Once you stay consistent with YouTube and stuff like that, he didn't pay for views. You feel what I'm saying? He hustled for that shit, and he deserved what he getting. Like I like Sarnetta. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know. He probably get some dirt.
Hold on. You said enough. Sarnetta sent the check over here yet? God damn, you going in?
No, I'm
So you
just
can't do
saying.
all
Like,
that now. You
no,
can't. We
I'm
send the
saying
shout
no.
out.
Hold on. Let me say why. Let me tell you
Hold on.
why. Let me
No,
tell you why.
let's
Because
not get
hold
off
on,
your
when we
street
get
and
into
run
the
my street.
sensationalism of capitalism and YouTube and stuff like that, you're not gonna find a lot of black men,
Okay, but
even in the conscious sector now. Hold on, let me talk,
No, no, no,
Dana.
no, 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 no,
Let me
no.
explain
Because
why I'm saying
no,
what
no,
I'm
no,
saying.
no,
No,
no, no, no. Because my platform is the league. I ain't gonna sit here and play like we don't know. There might be some shit back and forth. I'm
no,
not
I'm
gonna insert.
saying
Hold on.
you're not.
I'm saying GTO. I'm not gonna let you
You're
finish.
not letting me talk, yo. I'm not
No,
saying nothing
because
bad.
it's
You're not
not.
hearing what I'm saying.
No. Because it's
I'm not
YouTube
ready to put this man on the
capitalism.
pedestal because I know he did some. I
It's
know he did some
YouTube.
foul shit.
I don't know nothing about that. What I know is we send shouts out. This ain't about his show. I don't give a damn how.
I'm not gonna talk
God
about him. That's what
damn,
I'm trying to say, Yanga.
you
You're
can't
not
say
letting
no
me
for an
talk.
answer though. What?
Anyway, like I
Hey,
was saying, Yanga, let me talk. My whole point about it is when Solar platform grow and he keep going, because with YouTube, even without you paying, people, you're gonna eventually see 1,000 in your chat. You find what I'm saying? Your platform is gonna grow. YouTube, sometimes it just, you gotta keep going, right?
absolutely,
And you gotta be
absolutely.
more consistent. That man put out a lot of content, my nigga. When
He's a
Solar is,
godfather of the
so
shit.
hold
He's a
on,
god.
yo, you're not letting me
GTO,
talk.
you go right back. Listen,
I'm gonna bring it
we
back to
send that
Solar,
shot.
and you
No,
cut
I
me
don't want to bring
off,
it back
yo.
to Solar. This ain't
Yes, I
Solar's
said.
show.
Okay, I
Listen
just
to
wanted to say
me.
one thing. Once Solar get
GTO.
1,000 in his chat, Yanga. Once Solar get 1,000 in his chat, you don't think it's gonna be a whole bunch of madness that he's not gonna be able to control with a large platform like
No,
that? That's what I'm saying.
no, no. I don't think it's not about. And this is why I didn't want to get into specifics. So you're still young in this thing. You get in specifics and you holler names, and then people take it specifically. They generally black
That's not
men.
what I'm saying, Yanga. I'm
Because
saying,
I gotta address
listen,
it.
I'm talking about larger
Hold on.
platforms in the
I'm over
conscious
talk
sector.
you. I'm over talk you now. I've been trying to get
Uh,
you to hold gently. First of all, let me say this. No, I don't think he's going to face that. If he keeps a structure and keeps it above board, shouts out to the godfather of this shit. Shouts out to my man Sonetta. That's the shout I'm going to send him. I didn't say his name. I send the shouts out. He is a pioneer in this shit. However, see, this is why I didn't want to get in specifics and stuff like that. I think somewhere along the way, just, I've never been on his platform and never really viewed it like that because I've never really been pulled like that since the conscious days. I stopped after the 101. You know what I'm saying? I was living in Atlanta. I used to like to see the brother build on 125th Street. You know what I'm saying? To do their thing. And he brought that to us. I don't know what it is now. I don't know. And I frankly don't care. I do know this. I've learned YouTube capitalism. That right there could get me in some shit, GTO. And I think you know shit like that. Because, see, this is your sector. You'll duck and dodge. You'll take little pot shots. You'll say names. And I'm telling you, hold the fuck up. Secondly,
that's not what I was saying. What I was
I
saying
don't
is
think he was
larger
trying to do it.
platforms.
Hold on.
Because
I
I
don't
see
think he was
Solar
trying to
getting
do
big.
it. I'm
I just
teaching you is
told
YouTube
yo,
capitalism.
you're not letting me talk. Okay.
Secondly,
I'm gonna just
secondly,
leave and let you have your show because you're not talking over
I'm
me. Not
not.
even saying nothing bad.
Secondly, what I'm talking about, we can go back to the other thing, a man and woman conversation. Secondly, YouTube capitalism. You're not gonna sit on here and big up that man on my platform. Everybody know you just went through you did a commercial for the Negro. Shouts out to side there. Go subscribe, like, and share. You just did a whole commercial for him, yo. And I don't give a damn about him and Solar in the comparison of the two. The league is my home where I debate at. I don't know anything else outside of that. So until anybody else is sponsoring the arena, letting Yanga run his motherfucking mouth, participating, and allowing me to do the message, hey man, good luck on your endeavor. That's all I'm saying. All right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit. I'd rather you big up dark side like that. If you gonna big up some motherfuckers, big up them motherfuckers. They standing under the pressure of us. That dude, we don't know him. I don't know. Ain't no disrespect, but shit. Hey, I'm sorry, GT. I know you got mad. I just had to say that. I just had to say that, man. It ain't. I love you, sis. Ain't nothing personal. I just had to say that shit. We send shouts out. I'm not bigging up that. I'd like to hear more about the women's sphere and manosphere. I know he's a guy. I'm 50 years old. Been in this thing for a minute. On the earth, that is. You know what I'm saying? And so even my brief stint with YouTube and this and that, I've seen it. Unc's my dude. Uncle Cat's my dude. I've been around. Shouts out to I gotta shout out Queen Nandi. I've been around. I'm familiar with Sinetta. Shit, I know motherfuckers that know motherfuckers, I'm just that little dude sitting in the back on the couch, man. I'm rolling me a little blunt and puffing on something, man. But I done seen the sister on the show go back and forth, this and that. I'm familiar with the brother. Okay. We all have, and we need that. She do streams on it, this and that. It's all a part of the YouTube. What I'm trying to figure out, since I'm carving and curving my little niche in YouTube, and I be dead ass serious a lot of times about the message I'm pushing. I may say it in a funny manner. I may be jokey joke. You know what I'm saying? I hope she come back. She finding out what a lot of people was talking about. None of the blacks, everybody. I'm an ass. Yo, GTO, like I said, that personal, I'm an ass, though. Straight up and down like 6 o'clock. And I'm trying to, so like I said, the message that I push, I may say it in a joking manner. I may be, deliver it in all kind of ways, but whatever way I deliver it, I'm dead ass serious in my intention. I get it. I don't believe that it has to be. I think Soul is handling right that the league don't have to be full of nigga shit. That's why we got the arena. That's why we got Dark Side. That's why he got some shit, Zombie Nation. He got a place where the nigga shit could be so the league can remain neutral ground. We could have, you can jump back on the panel. We could have had that discussion. I'm just saying, let's leave names out of it. Let's leave names out of it. But see, I'm just saying he been in the game. Fuck all that. Let's leave the names out of it. You're absolutely, what you're saying, I disagree with. I think that Solar is hip enough that he's provided everybody, or he's given everybody the freedom to have their own platform. He hasn't censored that shit. He hasn't said on your own platform what you can do, where you can go, who you can have on your platform. He's asked that we not visit because the league was up and coming, the commission was under the fact. One of the things was at that particular time, and even now still today, but really then, integrity was a large part of it. Is if the commissioner's integrity is shot, if we're not showing that, hey, at least on this aspect of shooting at the commissioner, we're not going to go and visit channels that do that. I don't know the beef. I got behind it because I'm anti-defamation of black men with a motherfucking vision. I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. I don't have to go nowhere they talking about this man badly. It just makes good sense. You know what's going on, Yang. I don't need to. This is common sense. Hey, they talking about that guy badly. Then this where the team I debate on? Yeah, okay. I'm not going to visit that guy. I don't have to say anything ill about anyone. I don't have to participate in any fight. Dad say thumbs up. All I have to do is not listen and not bring my ass on somebody's panel. I'm good. That's great. Those aren't no hard rules. Sign me up. So we present a place for the nigga shit. And if you really pro-black, you ain't. Ain't nobody said I'm putting my little sister shit up there. I keep cutting her off. I ain't saying nobody said you cared about him. I know we know you the first lady. We know you the first lady. Ain't nobody coming at you. I'm running my mouth. I'm just saying, that's all I'm saying. I'm answering the question. I think my man am I coming in? I ain't breaking. Y'all let me know if I be breaking up. I think my man created enough platforms, or allows the freedoms for the platforms for people to do the so-called nigga shit, to get it off their chest. Now, what we do, but what it is, it's a caliber of debater, even on our platforms. And that's why I said, man, right now, the biggest people we've been going back and forth with is Dark Side. Shouts out. It provides good entertainment. It's stimulating to the brain. Like I said, shit. They haven't disappointed to rise to the challenge. It ain't been no time you ain't called their name. These niggas don't show up. You gotta motherfuckers do that. And y'all made Blue Nail Show. Who said our name? You know what I'm saying? You gotta respect that and love that. So shouts out to that. I mean, you're gonna have that. Why I shout that out is it's still been above board. So we keep it above board. And we're debaters on the league. And when it comes to the heat and this and that, we've all agreed to let the league be the battleground we decided on. Win, win, win. Everybody wins. So I think if you stick to that formula, yeah, if you get debaters of caliber, you have to avoid messy shit. It's out there. You know, that's what we call the general term. It's out there. You have to avoid it if you don't want to be in it. If you're going to be in it, be with it. Be good at it. You know the game. You know how I go. You know, I know I'm preaching to the choir, little sis. But I ain't even talking to you at this point. Hold on. I'm talking to the masses. Hold on 1 second. All right. Let's get that together. So what I'm trying to figure out, like I said, go back to what I initially wanted to talk about is the nature of our relationship. Let me go, but let me answer some of these questions. Let's see. Trevor told me you got to separate the debate league itself from the actual debate panel. The arena is the place for the shit, not the actual debate channel. Absolutely. That's basically what we're saying. The arena is where it goes down on the personal platforms. You know, I'm not going to reiterate that point. I think it's perfect. Let's see what GTO. When the BM really take his position in life, the black man really take his position in life, in any section in life, black people turn into agents to tear that black man down. I'm not going. Not agents of, yes, absolutely. What are you talking about, agents? Not paid agents. We are all agents of our own destruction. I thought I explained it like the Matrix. When the agents of the Matrix, to get you to conform and comply, jump into your body, addictions do that. You know what I'm saying? If someone is absolutely the selling us cigarettes and tobacco, Black and Miles, and all of these other things, and some of these things that we enjoy, it should personally a cigar. You know, I'm part of the culture. However, that is an agent of the tobacco industry. Those that promote it, advertising, pushing it, selling children when they sell it to children, that type of thing. Yes, it's an agent of destruction, an agent against yourself. See, what it is what I won't go for is non-accountability. And a lot of, especially you sisters, you can jump back up here, don't want to be accountable for shit. You want to be called queen and mother of the universe and held up into a lofty position, really understanding that you are that, but you don't want to be accountable for being the first teacher of humanity. You the first black woman a black man sees. If you ain't shit, then you're raising an ain't shit nigga. Ain't no way around it. Not saying you in general, GTO, so don't. I know how sisters get. That's another thing. We have to be. This is why it's hard to have these discussions, because when you're general, next minute is personal. What do you mean I ain't shit? I'm raising my boy. I ain't talking about you. You do wonderful. I heard you cleaning that baby nose, giving him his vitamins, putting his Vaseline on his face, or you say you use olive oil, or whatever, getting him ready for school, taking him. I'm not talking about you specifically. But if we're using that broad brush of indictments and speaking about black, see, that's why I like to make distinctions. That's why it goes back into that black nigga to me. See, I like to make distinctions. Don't be broad brush black when it's talking about negative shit. But then if someone learns to play the piano, that ain't black. Or if they talk like this, you ain't talking black. What the fuck is black? Oh, it's the nigga that ain't there for his child, black man. It's the nigga that killed another nigga, black man. And then when I say, no, that's a nigga, we all niggas. Mm-hmm. Sure is. Man. When are we going to start making? When are we going to start making the distinction? We have to start making the distinction. We own that motherfucking right. If we're self-determined, self-determination is the right to define oneself, not just your direction. but to defy yourself. We can actually defy black. We can. We can determine how black is defined. We're always the reactionary. We're always either the white man did it to us, so it make it permissible. This is how the white man, we don't even know we practice white supremacy in our black rhetoric. This is how the white man did it. This is how the white man is successful. Damn, I'll be like, damn, this is the blackest white supremacist I ever seen, but don't let me say nothing. They gonna get mad at me. They gonna get mad at me. Don't let me say nothing. It's the blackest white supremacist I ever seen. I gotta get you and Trev can jump up here. I know you and Gynocracy gonna agree on a lot of stuff. I still want to speak with you on some shit. I think you use a broad brush too. The black man. Why the black man? You a black man, bruh. So are you talking about you too? Oh, I ain't talking about me. Oh, you got a crown and a cape. Then you need to start being in this conversation of making distinctions between what you define as a black man. Why she do that? The black man. Okay, shit, brother, you looking awfully black today. Sure was a black, beautiful queen, I would assume, because I'm sure your aesthetics is one of beauty. You love beauty. Children sound strong and black and healthy. You're promoting black shit. So what black man? We need to start making distinctions. I call them niggas, but y'all get on me when I say niggas. Oh, you can't say niggas. Well, we can call them black men. Damn, that puts me in. So how do I distinguish myself? I sure think I'm a black man. I sure think I'm an African here in America. I'm sure a melanated person. I have nigga elements, but I am not a nigga. So how do I distinguish myself from those that allow the baser side, their lower baser side calling and desires to dictate their motherfucking life? I don't have a right. Am I a villain because I begin to critique and criticize within my own race behavior that is destructive and non-productive, and I call a spade a fucking spade? I'm just trying to figure out a name all you Negroes to be comfortable with. We can call the motherfucker to make the distinction of those of us that are trying to advance and those of us that are pillaging, leaving our children, like she said, graping and all the other shit that our women don't know how to distinguish us from. Nigga, it's a matter of survival. It's imperative at this motherfucking point that we make the distinction. If we say choose better, then if we're telling them to choose better, if this is the bullshit rhetoric that we're putting out there, then we better help them make the distinction clear. You need to run that little sickling, weak, perverted, demented thinking motherfucker on the outsides of the herd. So the women know, oh no, he ain't even in here with the big boys. He jumping out of the bushes, stealing coochie, and then we'll handle that. So the question is, let's see. Can the conscious black man control the niggerdom in his conscious space once it's bigger? 'Tis a debate. That is a good debate. That is a good debate. First lady will always come up with good debate topics. My man Trevor says, what does Trevor say? Trevor says, in general conversation in limited time, it comes off as broad brushing. Yes, it does. But I'm in a way, I'm not glad it does, but I see it just reinforces to me the necessity to have that conversation of distinction. I get sick of being swept in the broad thing. Do I have some of the things you say? Do I have those characteristics? Absolutely. I think some of the things you say when they talk about black men, had or part of epigenetics or whatever the fuck that makes us tick the way we tick. I would agree. But in my looking at it, I'm like, damn, because we do be doing that ill stuff. But when I look back, I look at largely a lot that I learned from was my mama. So I challenge black women. especially with black male children. Since you feel like that about black men, if those of you that do feel like that about black men, do you have a positive black male image that you parade or put somewhere in that is accessible to your black son? Because if not, believe me, the nigga on the corner with them rims, shawty, gonna be that nigga hero. Then you gonna be crying and shit. But you was in the house hollering about how nigga ain't shit. And then when I come along and say, I agree, a nigga ain't shit, but a black man is the shit. Nah, all y'all niggas. Damn, we can't win. Uh-oh, let me keep it missing. Have a nice day. You know. Vin Cap, my man, good morning. Good morning. I know. That's why I caught you. Knew I would catch you at work. Can't get up here now. So wait a minute. It say even my man Lex like that, man. I don't know. I missed that. When he says even let me see. They all nah, yeah, they all black men. It's interchangeable with the baby narrative. I don't know. I'm moving so fast. I wish I could pinpoint exactly what that statement is referring to. You know, but I get it. Yeah, I get it. That's why I say there's gonna be some similarities with the whole masculine energy, with the whole, like I said, from epigenetics, just social cultural adaptation and interchange as black men. We have commonalities. I don't care from the business. That Blackish is hilarious. The episodes, I'm gonna become a fan. I'm gonna go back from season 1 and watch everything. I catch him in spurts, and he had an episode. It was something like the Black Code. It was the head nod, and his son didn't know the head nod. He was like, "Oh my God!" I think he's wrestling with cultural diversity and being blackish, being that black families moved to the suburbs, affluent neighborhoods, in a multicultural neighborhood, and his children is losing that oomph. But he's from South Central. Hilarious. Check it out if you can. Anyway, they got a thing where they do the head nod, shit like that. I think there are certain things that we share as black men, just like, Bob, what's happening, brother? What's happening? From the janitor to the brother in the boardroom when they meet in that company, passing in the hallway. Yeah. So I get it. There's going to be that thing. However, I think that this is where we set the bar this is where us as black men begin to set the standards and the bar. We begin to take it away from, to me, commercial and materialism. I asked GOT a question earlier. What made Kevin Samuels have that position in people's life? Because I believe, I'm one who believes that you are the master of your fate, captain of your ship. You control what influences you, what you allow, what you intake. So what was it about Kevin Samuels and people of that ilkling that made you feel, not her specifically, just in general, because we were talking generally, that made black people, black women, black men allow him to be that oomph in their life? And I honestly believe that through commercial and materialism, black manhood has been defined by your possessions. I honestly believe it was because his nice shiny shoes, his watch that glittered, his nice tailored suit. From the times that I have glimpsed him, he seemed to be very tailored, very well kept, applaudable. I don't find anything wrong with that. I think that I'm, one who believes every man, maybe this is my little thing, my part of colonialism. I believe every man should have a suit in his closet. I have 2, 3 suits. I think you should. I think men should own a suit. Maybe just that's my part of. I don't know. We can discuss that later. So I'm not mad at him. What I, marvel at is how people make that the measure and standard of manhood, of success and prosperity, of having had made it. You know. You have to get. That's why we got to do the show, Gynocracy. That's why we got to do the show. Because you're going to be introducing me to some stuff and you're going to be debunking a lot of things for other people. And who better to have along than the introduction to Big Caveman Yanga? You're going to love it. You're going to absolutely love it. I'm going to give you control. You'll have the mute button. You can just boop, mute my ass. You're going to control the panel. Promise you. It's going to be a great show. Let's put it together. But I mean, these are real questions because I have questions. You know, I have questions. I think it's easier. That's what I mean, agent. I think it's easier to pass the buck. I think it's easier to blame the black man. It's easier to blame the black woman. When the fight, to me, is black people. So I feel like this. If we do have gender issues, can we be specific about them motherfuckers? Don't get caught up in this feminist movement, this woman's lib. The white man has never liked his woman. The white man don't like women. He don't like you. Don't get that shit twisted for real. Don't get a trick 'em devil, and many of you women know that. You being mad at us or get back or for survival or whatever. He don't like your ass, not for real. Not for real. He for my white man love me. Yeah, okay. All right. I totally think he's incapable of love. I think he's fascinated, as he should be. You are absolutely stunning, black woman. I think he's fascinated. He's captivated, and he has the wherewithal and the means to keep you enamored and enraptured with materialism and shit. But put that cracker out there with us on Bare Survival, you'll be running from that pale-skinned, buttermilk complected, stringy-haired devil. He set the stage to look attractive to you. He's a trickster, is what he is. He set the stage to look attractive to you. Even the playing field, you'll be running back to the black man, and we'll be running back to you. We would no longer be deceived in thinking that some pale bitch, some dog-bearing bitch is equal to you. She would pale in comparison. This is what we fighting for. We're fighting to pull these scales and shit off of our eyes. Some of the things, this is why I fuck with MD. The long way this now. I do believe a lot of what MD is saying. That if we start to get in a better economic position, when you can do better, you do better. When you alleviate frustration, a lot of the frustration that comes out is there again, the same way that we date. Proximity is the same way we relieve stress and frustration. Proximity. So we go home and misplace anger, inadequacy. You know, I can talk about the black man, but I prefer to talk with brothers. I'm not going to get up here and earn a buck off of talking about our very real issues that I may want to agree with. Sometimes I may want to listen to these brothers and they dogging our ass. I'll be like, boy, that's why I fuck with Trevor, because I sense the sincerity. I don't think Trevor is disingenuous. I think he is sincere. I don't necessarily like this, the arena, though. I don't necessarily agree with all the ways that he brings it across, but that's why you got to love the arena. But I believe he's sincere and he's open to discuss it. That's why I don't go on these other asshole pages who just are trying to make a buck. You can't discuss it. They're not open from a different perspective. So what it does is it's feeding. It's like what you said, GTO, which was smart. You had to go somewhere else extreme to counter the extreme effects you were having by listening to these extreme assholes. The arena is the medium ground. I would love to have some of them over here explain it and have some of the sisters to, come explain that. Some strange shit going on. But all of it is a form of escapism to avoid issues that plague us as a people. To celebrate and understand, the arena celebrates and understands the diversity. They be like, Black Son, weird as fuck. He talk about this, he talk about that pipeline, this and that. Social economic class. Black Son is in a different social economic class than a lot of you guys. He's a homeowner. He's in a different tax bracket. He owns a business, and his business happens to consume gasoline. Hell yeah, he's trying to figure out about that motherfucking pipeline. Shit, yeah, he's ready to go fight. Shouts out to Black. The fuck? It's like, what the fuck? Gas is crazy. it affects his life directly. And since we don't understand the diversity of our people and unfortunately the very real class, economic class that was exists within our people, a lot of our solutions are fanciful. They're not going to appeal to a lot of our people. Not even, I dare say, the majority. Not even, I dare say, the majority. So we have to be very specific when finding a solution, even in this relationship shit. We have to, and that goes back to me talking about beginning to make a distinction. What are we calling black manhood? When you say the black man, is that a man? The black man don't take care of his kids. Is that a man? Doesn't that negate? Doesn't the fact that he doesn't take care of his children negate manhood altogether? Oh, that's how y'all do us. Slap anything to our manhood. What the fuck? And there are a few of us stand up and say, hey, that's not black. Oh, you can't. That is nigger. And nigger is the same. And you a nigger and I'm a nigger. Wouldn't you like to be a nigger too? Okay, so I can't use nigger, but I'm telling you it's not black man. Oh, the black man killing each other. I'm telling you it's not black man. It is. Look at the news. Ain't that two black men? Man, it's two melanated motherfuckers. Are they black men? Do I reserve the right to defy that? And we get so far, no disrespect to the Pan-Africanists. I get it as being a black nationalist. It's so confusing and it's so, you got this ambivalence. You love this and you hate that, but you hate that and love this. It's crazy as fuck. So we just say, fuck it, Africa. And not even modern day Africa, nigga. I'm talking bone in your nose Africa. No, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have did that. I take shots at my cousin. I reserve the right to fuck with my cousins on the cadet. I got beef with they asses too. I don't romanticize you Negroes over there. I've lived in the Somalian community with the Somalis, and I'm not generalizing all the African continent. I'm saying the few I've shared, the Ethiopians and the Somalians. If anybody is familiar with Atlanta, when I was deep into my religious thing, I lived in Clarkston for years. My daughter now, mother remarried in the Somali community. She's black African American, speaks Somali, married a Mexican. It's crazy. Shouts out, daughter. I'm waiting for my first biological grandbaby. That's a give praise and thanks. So I don't know why you upset with me. You shouldn't be. Because you're one of my favorite people. You're one of my favorite people. So don't be upset with me. And if you get the opportunity, come up and, break it down because I don't get it. I think that, like I said, it goes into, some of it I get. Some of it I get. Largely, I honestly think a large part of it is about sensationalism. It's YouTube capitalism. It clicks views. MD says Trevor doesn't realize the social differences between us. That could quite possibly be. I mean, I think that's what I mean by this generalization. I think you have to take all of that in consideration. That really plays an effect. And when you take all of that in consideration, when you're talking about the people, black people, you have to take socialization through whether it's economic or cultural practices into consideration when looking for a solution for black people. Anything else runs the risk of being tyrannical, being a depos, cult-like, or just outright fanciful if all peoples are not taken in consideration. The process, people here, this is why we have to study people here, socialism, this and that, and they think communism, this and that, but you have democratic socialists. You have people that believe, there's a form of it that this and that, it's basic block theory, and then people take and they build on that basic block theory. And the basic theory, one of the cornerstone foundations, is it being non-exploitive for the people. But like you said, it has to change. It's run its course with the end of industrialization and the advancement of technology and how it's getting and automatization and technology and shit. Shit changes. Shit, all human beings are in danger. They're going to be our robot in this motherfucker. You heard about capitalism, they're going to be our robot. Your microwave is going to be like, microwave, Alexa, call police. No. Call fire department. Let the motherfucker burn. So our robot in this motherfucker. You know. So do I need to drop the link again? Put in there if I need to drop the link again. Cause I need somebody to break it down. I know it's real out here. I'm not saying it don't get real in these YouTube streets. Yeah, I robot. Shit. They're microwaving on you. Can tell your refrigerator make some ice. It's gonna start shooting ice cubes at you. So we all in danger. However, I believe that we take these forms and we do what they're doing. And we do what they're doing. You know, we take these forms and we fight back, we push back, or we promote. This is what the arena is, Tim. This is why I know we're pioneering some shit. We are pioneering some shit. I don't know, dare I say, I don't want to add the false claim that we're probably the only very democratic platform out here. There may be others, but I know in a little bit, I have the panels I've listened to, I haven't seen as diverse a group as we have on the arena. I haven't found it. I haven't seen a group wherever I listen. I don't find people disagreeing within their own group with intelligent discussion on the level and caliber that we have it all in Team Arena spirit and love. Bringing you a microcosm of a macrocosm, bringing you a small example of what a black nationalist, I don't want to say government, but a black nationalist consortium, a black nationalist think tank, a black nationalist collective looks like. Let me get
Peace, Yanga.
peace. What's good, Angel?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah, so just to give you a little bit of background on the Kevin Samuels thing. When Kevin Samuels first came on the scene, he actually was going in on men. He was spraying perfume. He was talking about wearing fine haberdashery and all that good stuff. And he was talking about men not being shit and up in their game, so to speak. That's how he started. And he had as many people in the chat as you do right now. So
Okay.
he started to go in on women, and he found that it became very lucrative. So when you use the word sensationalism, he is the epitome of that.
I figured that.
He's a very feminine man, and through him going in on women, you discovered that it was very easy for him to do that because he admitted that he had mommy issues. He literally hated his mother. He talked about how his mother, was with multiple men and multiple marriages. He felt that she was not around. He felt that she was not a staple in his life.
Mm-hmm.
So that is really just the base of it. It goes a lot deeper if you choose to go deeper, but that is
I
where.
figured that we're putting a show together. It's called Debunking the Myth. GTO's on it, this and that. Yeah, of course. I want to look into this, and I figured that. I've always held that. Like I first love. I first everything. The woman in the world to us is everything. Is your mama. So if pardon me, sisters, and I hear him come off with my chauvinistic thing. If your mom, like I said, I love you, mom, too. I'm not trying to be. I love you, mom. But the first person to teach me to lie was my mother. When she told me to tell the bill collector she wasn't home, she said, "Tell him I'm not here." That's not true, mom. So it's a lie. So if you see these things out here, and I may be trivialized, I'm being funny but serious. If you see certain things out of your mother, pardon me, sisters, but no man is going to hold you higher than his mother, no matter what you think. So if he hates his mother, you're not going to be his healing. You're not going to be. He's going to need professional help. He will take that out on you because no man will put you above his mother, even if she is not the best example of any type of woman. So that's what I figured. I kind of, and I'm like, yeah, and those are just things we have to look at. So what do you think made him? Oh, you did say what made him popular. was him going in on women. But what do you think made people say, okay, he's the expert on that? Why would they even listen to him, do you believe?
Well, it doesn't, he's no expert. He just had a gift of gab and he spoke to people's pain, just like the Cynthia G's of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of, you heard the term incel. Those are men who basically don't have luck in the world of women. And this gave them a platform to blame women for why they, had some shortcomings, basically. I'm not going to say that everything he said was not true. There uh, were not happy, could not get women, but he also, ironically, appealed to women. The
Mm-hmm.
majority of his viewers were women. That's been confirmed. So yeah, I mean, with all these gender wars going on, you have situations where people are alone, people are not in relationships. They maybe had multiple failed relationships. So some of the support is out of desperation. And we're talking about the people that supported this man monetarily, not the ones that's just up in the clouds. But when you invest in something like that,
Right,
it's
right.
based out of like, I'm desperate for a solution. And if nothing else in my life has been working and I have this feminine man up here, which is a joke, but for some
Mm-hmm.
people, this feminine man telling me that I'm the problem, I've tried every other avenue. I have nothing left. Let me listen. And the proof is in the fact that these beautiful women went up there with their camera on and subjected themselves to it.
Oh, absolutely.
The
Absolutely.
point has been made that these women would be in tears because he would give them these so-called reality checks, and he typically would be, not all the time, but typically it would be darker skinned women.
Mm-hmm.
And he would tell them, you're only a four, you know. So yeah, I mean, I think once again it appealed on the pain, just like with Cynthia G.
Absolutely.
It was a lot of pain with why people supported her, and I do want to, not to jump all over the place, but just to address the Cynthia G situation. A lot of people like to talk about the abort black male baby thing, but in essence, I don't think people really know where that started. Like, she is not the first one to say it. Those words were not really said in that way. There were more content creators in the early divestment days saying things like, just stop having babies with black men. So that is where it started. But I can tell you, the day that that conversation started with Cynthia G, it was a fluke. It was on a Taz panel. And, at the time with the debate league and everything, I'm in deep. Of course, I'm involved in a certain way and I'm watching. It was a Taz panel. It was a ton of people up on the panel. Cynthia G was one of them.
Uh-oh, I think I lost.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Oh, when did I cut out at some point?
I thought I did. Was that
But
you or me? I thought I had cut out at some point.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you missed what I was saying about how it started with that abort black male
Oh yeah,
baby
with the panel.
situation
I
on
caught some of
YouTube.
that, and then that she wasn't the first. And then I caught some of that. And it faded out. Yeah, that she was on a panel.
Yeah, she was on a panel and a woman said to her, if you had a baby, and he was a boy, and she's like, I would never do that. And she's like, so you're telling me if you were pregnant and you found that it was a boy, you wouldn't have him? And she said, yes. And of course, that's what she had to say because she had to
Mm-hmm.
stand on the bullshit. And like I said, the crowd went wild. There was a lot of attention around that. So she kind of ran with it, but she also admitted that she would never do that. So that's why we have to stop like giving, the certain type of attention and a voice to these people that clearly are not, for uplifting us. So that's all it is. It's a bunch of YouTube shit. That's all.
That That's all I'm saying. So am I wrong to? And when I say agent, not agent by the state or anything, but just subcon, whether they do it intentionally or not, that is they are taking agency against the advancement. They are opponents against the advancement of black people. Yeah, I believe they're agents, and my whole thing
Angel, you
is
cut out so bad, but no, I was there when that conversation started getting bad. But what I wanted to say was even before, like, divestment spaces started really getting heavy on YouTube and started getting a whole bunch of numbers. I remember divestors within my social justice warrior space, I would see them talk about aborting black male babies. This was like 7 years ago. And but my space would stay away from them bitches. When they posts would come up on our timeline, it's like, oh no, we need to delete these heifers. But I started to notice a shift where I started to notice that black women in that space who had a kind of like a pro-black mindset started talking like Cynthia G, and it scared me because I'm like, what the fuck, y'all never was on this. And it's like the whole social justice warrior space. And I know y'all black people like to say, like, they stand up for gay black people and blah blah blah. And it's like, no, even within that community, they had a pro-black space, and they would separate from the coons, the people that was, interracially dating and stuff like that. But now it's being pushed there. And I was like, that's just not cool. And it's ever since the Cynthia G thing just really took off because she had them numbers. People like them type of feminists, black feminists wasn't really talking like that. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, we was dragging a black man, trying to hold him accountable, going hard, but genocide never, that was never part of that conversation. You know, at
you
least, and then
go ahead.
what you were saying, yeah, go ahead.
Mm-mm. Yeah, that's because shit. That's extreme. But that's what I mean. So when do we make the distinction from should we paint Cynthia or people like this? I ain't even gonna say her name. Should we paint them with a broad stroke? Should we take her as that's the sentiment of black women? Should we take that really as like that's how black women think and behave and things black women would do?
Absolutely not. My argument was, how far is it gonna go before we stop acting like it's not gonna happen? Because it's not, like you say, advantageous to our people. I feel like, like I understand what you said because it is disgusting, but I also look at it as a way like to debunk that that's
Yeah,
part of it too. I don't know. That's just
yeah,
my
it is.
opinion.
It
I'm a
is. It is.
humanitarian too.
It
I'm a
is.
humanitarian at heart too. And I want people to wake up. And I have, okay, when I would bang on a divestors and when I would bang on that message, it was people that was like, wow, like you open my eyes and stuff like that. Like it do be a shift. You know, it's all about, staying consistent. That's why I be like the numbers, y'all. And a lot of people like it don't matter, but I'm like, yeah, but we can wake the people up, So that's
Mhm.
how I am, a humanitarian, community, bringing the people in, That's all I wanted to say. But I agree with you, Yang, because it is a lot to take in.
It is. It's and this is why this is a good discussion. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You are absolutely vital. You're a part of the team. I know that people may not get it and this and that, but like I said before, you speak to a demographic that's out there. You're not alone in your thinking. You're not alone in how you feel, your sentiment towards black people, and the ambiguous feelings and the back and forth and go, because I know, yeah, you're like a lot of us black people. You and I share some of the same sentiments. Sometimes I'm cheering the black woman on. Sometimes I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, sister?
Yes. Yes.
General in broad brushes, shit. I got my. I'm not gonna say.
And I beat up on a black woman too. Don't get it twisted, Yanga. I'll be like, hold up, bitch.
Exactly. So I get that. And you have a method in which way you go. So all of that is needed to address this, but however, my lane is this. My lane is like, okay, yeah, that's cool, but who's giving these motherfuckers power and influence? Who said they speak for us? At some point in time, I think a very serious footstep towards this long journey of not just self-identifying, but prosperity and success is being able to distinguish those of us that want advancement as opposed to those of us that, either practice sensationalism, criminals, whatever. I just lump all that shit into nigga shit. So I call it niggers. You know what I'm saying?
And see me. No, go ahead, Angel.
All right, I just want to make sure you can hear me because I guess I was cutting out. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the way I handle to your question earlier, something like that is, I mean, the bottom line is you have to know what the enemy is doing. You have to know what's out there. If somebody is saying something that extreme, we know about it. It comes to our attention. And then what we need to start doing is building on our power of the cancel culture. I know it's not a fun word, in the world we live in today, but we need to be able to say, okay, this is what your message is. You're canceled now. This woman has, from what I understand, because personally what I did is I unsubscribed, but it was in, circles where her name came up, where what she was talking about came up. She eventually started being on platforms like Fox Soul and things like that.
Oh, I think we lost her.
She might be at work trying to sneak off or something.
No, I'm gonna.
It's okay. It's okay, Angel.
Let me go to. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, that's weird. Let me go over to my Let me get on the laptop. It must be because I'm on my phone. I'll be back.
Okay. Yeah, I like where she's going. You have to have what I think she called it a council culture, but a counter culture to counter this shit. It's
yes, that's what I was trying to say too. Yeah. She said it better than me.
No, I agree. So we need, in order to do that, you had to have soldiers. Why I said, then again, shouts out to you, First Lady, my man MD, Trevor, Black Sun, Team Arena, Deacon, Twins, and everybody that's in it, Juju, everybody that makes it this great. This is how we're going to combat it. You have to combat it at all angles. And I think that that's what's unique about us is, at again, tooting our horn and being redundant and shit and repetitive about saying it, is that diversity. You got to come at these cats any angle. And it's not even really about attacking them. It's about putting the message out there. Like I'm seeing them say in the chat. Putting the message out there, substantiating it, backing it up, real time. And it's hard to combat sensationalism because that's what draws the number. Everybody, listen, you are rewarded for Black misery and suffrage. I said it. Look at blaxploitation television. All of that shit on there, from the reality TV, from the housewives cheating and fighting and shit, to Love and Hip Hop doing their thing, to all the shows, the infamous Tyler Perry and all his mini shows. Hell, they got Black Sun hollering out one of the shows. You seen Ruthless? He told me that thing. I watched it one time. That shit is, I couldn't even get past the first episode. Somebody was screaming and they was kidnapping a black woman. Black people in a black coat kidnapping a black woman. I couldn't even get past the first episode. Come on, let me get Angel up.
Right, so I'm on my laptop now. Hopefully it won't happen. Peace, MD.
Peace. How you doing, sis? Top of the morning.
I'm good. Top of the morning to you, brother. Yeah,
So
so I didn't hear the last minute. Sorry about that. But yeah, I think we need to start showing the power of cancel culture.
mhm,
You know, sometimes it's so hard for us to look away. But when somebody shows us that they belong in, you know, the flaming piles of trash outside of our community, we need to not be
right.
afraid to put them there.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's very
Hmm.
fun to listen to it. You know, but hey, it becomes a point where it's like, t- take away your subscription. You have the power as one person.
Hmm.
Um, you know, you got the message, you understand, and just build with people that are like-minded. That's really what a community is. Like a lot of us think that community means the whole collective of Black people in America. A
Hmm.
community can be 5 people. A community can be the 4 people that are sitting here. It's
Hmm.
shared values. It's having one goal. Is believing in the same thing with slight differences, you know, different ways
Hmm.
of getting to the goal. But
Hmm.
yeah, that's basically how I handle stuff like that. You know, it's good to be in the know. You need to know what's going on, but you have to know the limits where, you know, even if it's just you, take that power away from them by not supporting them.
Absolutely. I like you made that distinction about, like you said, being in the clouds, and you actually have the people who went all out to support and promote that message. That's the difference. That's Black Sun's word, proselytizing. They're actually out there proselytizing that bullshit. Uh, you know, and I still, because I do get aggressive. I believe in aggression. You know what I'm saying? So I don't mind even poking and prodding and taking shots at cats like that. I don't mind. What I do tell people, if we do that, to be leery of the tactics we use. Like, I am a big, one of my favorite words you guys hear me quote all the time, or say all the time rather, is neocolonialism. So, and I believe that in all things. So even if going after them, we have to be careful not to just to be the reverse of their talking points, but really trying to bring some enlightenment and information. Though I go hard and I may add a
Right.
little humor there for a shock value or a tad bit of sensationalism to keep people interested, I am still trying to push a message. I am still
Right.
really sincerely trying to promote something there.
Correct. And Yanga, you just hit it on the head. That's actually how you combat that. If you go back in and, you know, call her every name in a book, find some, you know, negative stuff to say, do the bullshit, that's what they want. That proves their
Mhm.
point. This
Mhm.
right here is what
Right.
makes me angry. Seeing Black women with Black men showing love for each other, showing that real relationships exist, you know, that we still instill this stuff into our Black children that we create. That's what angers them, because the fact of the matter is a lot of this stuff is rooted in pain. There is a psychology even behind Cynthia G's, you know, method to her madness. This
Mhm.
woman comes from a geographical part of the country where white women and the few white men, Black men, are what you see together. It's not a lot of Black men there. She also has said on many
Hmm.
times and many interviews that she has a lot of issues with her father. Her father
Mhm.
was deep in drug use. Her father has stolen from her. Her father was very abusive. So she didn't have the strong male figure. You know, she's surrounded by siblings who all married white people, basically. Not all, but
Mhm.
most. So it's a psychology even behind that. Now we could say, you know, let's keep building, let's keep loving on each other. They'll get the message. But the reality is some people just won't. Everybody
Absolutely.
needs to go. But I'm with you. We combat it by loving on each other, staying positive, and we don't stoop to their level.
Absolutely. And the combating it is just only to dust the shine off of it, to prayerfully kill the allure for people who may be looking for answers and just haphazardly stumble across that and get ensnared. That happens. I can't tell you how many damn groups I've joined on my journey through revolution for the Black people that were full of shit, but their rhetoric was right on. Yeah, the white man must get in there, and then it was like, for 1995, you too can be a revolutionary, that type of thing. So I
Wait, what?
they sold everything. It was commercial as hell. I mean, they had the rhetoric, They caught me with the rhetoric. I'm out here. I want to express my blackness a little more militant than I'm seeing being done. I want to be active. I'm tired of this shit. I was younger then. I was a Thundercat. You know, so I feel basically for every and anything. Back then it was rap music and brothers on the corner with papers and flyers, and it was actual physical meetings you would go to. So, I went, and then I said, I'm get back in my religion. So then I joined understanding of Islam that was very, 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 very heavy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so that was a different journey. So, but anyway, I say this, I don't have a problem with us. This is what the arena is. It will scrutinize. I think that Black people reserve the right to scrutinize anything intensely that is presented as a solution for Black people or as an answer for some of the ills that we're facing as Black people, man or woman. And that's what communalism is. And then, like Angel was saying, you practice community, and communities have standards. And the way standards are upheld is they are enforced. And we saw that in real time. Like I said, when I was coming up, everybody didn't have a dad, but my father was everybody's father. He wasn't going to stand. He was that dude that wasn't going to stand for y'all doing. So, hey, man, what y'all doing? It was the community standard, and didn't care nothing about taking you to your people's house.
Yeah.
Yo, man, I caught your son out here. Now this individualism, and I get it. I don't get mad when the son's like, hey, don't be talking to my motherfucking child. I get it. There's some weirdos out there. I'm like that too. Yo, dude, who you talking to?
Yeah.
He's like, man, I don't. So that's even there. Those us Black people have to rise above that. You know what I'm saying? When they come out, you have to understand it's weird times. So people, hey, man, no offense, man. I saw your son out here, man. He's, I know the people who live here. He's coming out of the backyard and stuff. I'm asking him, hey, man, you got business here? You his dad, I'm glad to see you, man. What's going on? See, we can't punk out. It takes, it just takes that individual courage and love for your people. And that's where the individual comes in. And when each individual does it, guess what? It's a community. It's a collective. We all love where we live. We all look out for one another because we individually want to feel safe, secure, want to be free to enjoy the amenities of our neighborhoods, the parks and the pleasantries. So we band together in that sense. Black people can do that collectively. I don't got to care what you believe, or even, dare I be controversial, who you're sleeping with in your bedroom. I'm like, Black son, I am not the bedroom police.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother discussion for a whole nother people. We're going to talk about that though.
Yeah, if you listen to a lot of things that are said on YouTube, you would really think that the community is 100% dead. And I know that there are a lot of issues. I know, Brother Trevor always says that the Black community is on life support. And that is true to a certain extent, depending on how you're looking at it. But the bottom line is, outside of YouTube, that line about Black people got to get our stuff together, that doesn't fly with me, because the Black people I know, we got our stuff together. I happen to know a lot of Black people that are, in, fully attached families. They do things for their community. They work very hard for what they have. Is it enough of us? No, it's not enough of us. But then that's where we get to the point where we switch over to.
But do we really know that? I don't even know if we really know that. I think the generalization is so ingrained. Negativity, it's so ingrained in us not to see good in ourselves, that do we know that we're not in the majority, Angel? Is it just easier to say, see black men, black women, Black people?
Would you say, Yanga? I'm trying to say.
We might be actually in the majority. Do we actually know that it's not enough of us? I think that negative imagery and just negativity attached to Black people automatically makes the negative that more exacerbated. It stands out that much more. It makes it that much larger. And we have been genetically engineered to put that on us generally. See, look at Black people. But how do I not know?
So you think statistics is bullshit, and because it's always stats to combat those stats, and it's just like, which one is real? Because both these websites, they said, is legit. So you got a point there. I always wondered that, and that's why I asked that question. Like, should we is it really growing? Because I have seen some of this information, turn households upside down and stuff like that. I'm not gonna get into it because then I'll be putting my people business out there. But but at the same time, that's why I posed that question. That's another debate topic. I gotta write all this stuff down. I got about a lot of debate topics for y'all because these discussions be getting lit.
Yeah, and I hate to keep chiming in, but just to answer your question, Yanga, I would unfortunately have to say, yes, we are in the majority, but it depends on what we're talking about. I think the economic disadvantage that we're in, we are in a majority. And because of those disadvantages, it spreads into other issues, like issues within the home. What I'm saying is there are enough of us that are in a place where we can come together as a community and make a difference, because we could talk about it all day long, but we can also get lost in it in these spaces. We can also only hear about the bad, and we can forget that we need to come together with some solutions, even if it's 5 people,
I agree. But Trevor, that's what I'm talking about. Let me answer Trevor. That's what I'm talking about. The eye test, bro. The eye test. It's like what GTO said. It's what they bombard us with. What are you looking at? The statistics, who's news media? Who's it? When I do the eye test, the everyday eye test, I live in a predominantly black neighborhood in the center of Atlanta. That is, I guess some would call middle class, if we're gonna do the classes thing. My son goes to a historically black public school named after a historic figure. I'm not going to call it out because it is some weirdos out there. You know what I'm saying? But so my eye test, I see up and coming. I ride the MARTA. Guess who I see on the MARTA train when I'm riding the train? Young men and women, black men and women hustling, bustling throughout Atlanta to go make a livelihood. The nigga element is in the minority in the circles I run in. I'm just gonna be honest. You gotta wait. People wait to the weekend to get on nigga shit. They pay to go find nigga shit. Man, I'm gonna go to the club, turn up, my nigga. Monday through Friday, they're not. They're so I don't know. I'm not really convinced. That all of us behave a certain way, that it is that behavior is still such in the majority that we can just blanket black people with it. I think that's brother, at the dead risk, man. I think that's been beat into us. See, look at these black folk. We see a few and we make sweeping indictments.
Yeah.
Crab in the barrel, like I said, crab in the barrel.
Yep. I mean, look at you on the panel. You think MD's the only MD out there? You think Black Son's the only Black Son out there? We represent demographics of Black America. That's what Black nationalism is. The nation where we're saying that everything to make a nation is right within us, from the technology to the resources that we, have exposure to, and also the diversity and the variety that have made nations before us great.
Yeah.
We have to build with the infrastructure we have. That's why we say America. Everybody keep using America synonymous with white people. America is not white people. America painted themselves in a box by creating an infrastructure that is genderless and raceless in design. Now, implementation is different. That's what a lot of nationalists are fighting against. Like, yo, we don't want to salute your flag. We don't want to do all that bullshit. That's a whole nother fight within our nationalist circle. We don't want all that shit. We just want the right to participate in our own self-determination. Because guess what? This is where I am. I got a birth certificate, a social security card. I pay taxes, all that shit. You motherfuckers in my pocket. I need a say in this shit.
Yeah, I think part of it is definitely recognizing that there are issues in the community as well. The city that I live in, you turn on the news every morning, and it's very disparaging what you see. And I'm not just talking about the crime that goes on. I'm talking about the poverty that a lot of Black people are in this city where we are the majority. So it for me is like, you know, we can talk all day about the history. I think it's safe to say so many of us know it. So many of us have heard it. It's about what are we going to do now? I have been thinking over the last couple of days, I had so much to think about. Some life-changing things, you know, with my mother. It just started making me put stuff into perspective. And what I'm very interested in is giving a voice to maybe, you know, the other side of how we see things when we talk about participation and capitalism and all that stuff. Um, I'm going to take advantage of the space that I have on the arena. And I think I'm going to start bringing some brothers on here that you really would love to meet. There's one that I was talking to yesterday. And he was mentioning that he would love to come on and do an interview. You know, there are a lot of Black men and women, but just talking right now about Black men that, you know, have climbed the corporate ladder, are leaders, you know, in their community. But yeah, they climbed the corporate ladder. Now, the question is, what are you doing now that you're up that corporate ladder? You know, the company that I work for, nepotism is basically what built that company. You know, nepotism with friends and family amongst white men. You know, now that things are changing, now that some of us got ourselves in the door, we're bringing us in, you know, and we're bringing them in with the mindset that you have a life-changing opportunity. Now
Absolutely.
you owe your people. Don't just come in here and say you arrived, you owe somebody now. So we don't see it as us like participating, we see it as infiltrating, because
And
who's going to fund these things that we're talking about?
absolutely.
Where is that
And
going to come from? And if we don't start tapping into the Black people that are out here doing that, like we putting our jobs on the line, doing these things, yeah, I think it's very important to have those discussions. So
and
over the next couple of weeks, that's what I
I
plan.
love it. I love it because that's my point right there, Angel. I can't wait. That's my point. And we see more and more of that. Why isn't that a generalization for Black people? Yeah, we busting the corporate ladder. We bringing brothers in to work. We moving up, man. We busting them digits. Our quality of life is right. Black men on the rise. Why isn't that nobody generalizes that?
Right.
But you sit here, like you said, it's happening. I know it's happening. Um, man, I'm around just due to proximity to the wife and everything like that. I'm around Black politicians in Atlanta, people who Black. Shouts out to, I don't know if I'm supposed to put his plan out there, but there's one who wants to throw breakfast programs and teach political education, and he ran for an office in Atlanta, and he's very ingrained in politics, taking very communal approach. I was pleased to be sat with him and offered to participate. So there is a lot. The vibe is changed. That's why I say the people I hang with is like what you're saying. They successful, prosperous, ready to give back to the community, ready to knock down some of the obstacles and hindrances that allowed us from really participating. Now, I may not be in a position to participate fully as much as I like to, but I can aid and support these people into further knocking down barriers. I swear, I think it's just how we've been trained. We see 10 Black people do something, we say, look at these, but Black men ain't shit. Look at us. What about the brothers? I mean, there was statistics that Black male fatherhood was on the rise, that participation with their children was on the rise, even if they weren't with the mother of their children. I had read somewhere that was on the rise. I was smiling about that. So I don't know. Forgive me if I just don't roll over to the blatant generalization of Black men, especially with negative stereotypes, man. I don't know. Somebody got to prove to me that.
Hey, let me be devil's advocate real quick though, Yanga.
Okay.
They do generalize Black success when it comes to Black women. Would you not agree?
Yeah. I don't know how much of an advocate of the devil you being. Absolutely.
Okay. I
Absolutely.
didn't know if I was gonna get pushback on that or not.
No, I can't push back. Yeah, you better not start hollering about then. It's like what we get. Y'all blaming the Black woman. Y'all blame if you start generalizing Black women. You can't generalize Black women. But you know what? Some of us still hold the gentleman ways. Some of us still hold to them gentleman ways. We try our best not to generalize Black women. We swallow and take a lot of stuff. We will get abused and all kind of stuff at not trying to generalize or be that dude. You know what I'm saying? And forgive me if I'm a little emotional about that part, because it's hard to try to be an example. Even with the past I have, I've never been a saint, and I'm not professing to be one now. But even with the past I had, it's hard to be that dude that is trying to be something better and an example of something better, when all it takes is three Negroes to put the whole race back 50 years. I don't get it.
I see your comment, Trevor. Yeah, that I think that goes back to social media. We love the BS, but I think and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Trevor, but we love the BS online because a lot of us are not really who we say we are. A lot of us, come up with these personalities. We're hiding behind screens. But in my real life, I take part in whole forums where we come together, sometimes hundreds of people, all Black, in a room together talking about solutions, putting together programs where we're building playgrounds in the communities, we're feeding people in the communities. We actually are employing people now, like young men and women that would not have the opportunity. So none of us ain't talking about the BS when we're really getting dirty and doing the work. How do we transition that on here?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it means not paying attention to how many people is in the chat. You just keep doing it. And then I think we need to start pulling more people in that, have the capability to start making some change. Like that's what it's time to do. I've always been about action. I'm tired of the talk. I think we need to start doing something. And there is a formula of people right now that I see in this space, minus when we, get into the BS, like Trevor said, where I think we can start doing something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I totally agree. That's one of the things that, I don't have to remind myself of, thank God. But you may have to remind yourself of that this is into this doesn't have to translate into real life action. It is a place that people pay for to express their views, push their opinions, to be all they can be. They create a fiefdom kingdom within these confines of YouTube, and all of that is cool and fine. But we have to make sure. No, I don't want to end what we have to do. What I suggest that we do is make sure that it doesn't begin, that this space begin to affect our decisions in real life, that we begin to take these perceptions and perspectives that we ourselves have voluntarily gone into and put them on real life. We begin to put ourselves in the box when this is all I'm going to, this is all I'm going to, and this is my gospel. And then that what you feed your mind, your limbs will react to. And I believe in the law of attraction. If you feed your mind that trash and you think that that's all that Black men supposed to produce, you think that's all Black men are good for, I believe the universe will give you that, because I believe the universe thinks that's what you want. That's what you constantly saying. That's all you see. That's all you believe a nigga is, and a nigga, and niggas ain't this, and niggas ain't that, niggas ain't, you can't see anything else. That's what you get. It's called manifestation. Here you go. Nice fat nigga for you. With all the trimmings, pants around his ankles, talking all the hip slick shit that don't translate to no real action or productivity. There you go. That's what you said a nigga is. And we have to be careful. Even I, but see, I get distinction. I say nigga, then they'll say Black man. They're not even as descriptive and distinctive as I was, and at least having a category that I say, okay, not all of us are doing that. But they'll say Black man. And like I said, one who believes in the law of attraction, I think it's important to be specific, because I'm glad Angel came up here and said that. Not all of us are doing that. Then here's the other thing. Here's why we got to be specific, because when you paint with that broad brush Black man, or like I was sharing with Dark Side the other day, shouts out to Dark Side. My problem with Whoopi Goldberg or setting the standard of beauty is it begins to set the standard of what is accepted as Blackness. So you will have Angel talking about, yeah, we getting into corporate America, this and that. Somebody holler about that ain't black. Somebody will fuck around and holler that out. They gonna play, oh, that ain't black. They working for the man. How dare they feed themselves and get a good salary? Motherfucker, you supposed to be down here toiling. We're trying to break that whole cycle, man. Well, we're regulated to certain positions. A lot of our ancestors' tools was to get us into these positions so that we can change where it was the tranquil effect. We were trying to get people in that position to kick in the fucking door so that the people down there that still may not receive the corporate position, the people in the corporate positions are making sure that there are people who have been denied the opportunity or just couldn't make it are treated fairly. The oppressor is not controlling them anymore. We want them in those positions so we can, hey man, we can catch them at the bar in our social setting. Say, hey, man, boss tripping, man. Yeah, man, I did propose that. What you said, I hear y'all down. Y'all do need insurance. Y'all insurance is looking fucked up. Y'all ain't got dental. I did, that. Or preferably he gets in a position and ain't sold completely out to buy into that we not all collective because of social, cultural, economic differences. And he's like, fuck them niggas down there. They don't need dental. That he's like, he's right and he's acting. Now, my dad was a laborer. My cousins, and this is the importance of communalism. Not all of us are going to be in that position. My cousin works in the factory. I saw him at the family reunion. He was talking about factory conditions. My peoples. That's a nation. That's why we need the diversity. That's when we begin to see our people as human beings again and not as stereotypes or class groups. Not these niggas and that niggas. So we have to make that distinction, and the distinction between us and them can't be based on our economic class or if you ask me, our cultural. A lot of times, the focal point, it can be like, I'm not Afrocentric. Uh-oh. Everybody mad at Yanga now. Africa is not the center of my thinking. I don't think you have to dress like that and necessarily. So I'm not Afrocentric, though I'm African here in America. Our strength is going to become in tolerance and acceptance of our own. That's it.
Yeah, and I just want to clarify. I don't like to assume with comments, but I'm looking at what you're saying, gynocracy. Just to clarify, I absolutely believe that we are at the bottom economically. That's what I thought that I said. Economically, we are at the bottom. Reparations definitely are deserved. Mm-hmm. What I'm driving home is that there are small groups. When you talk about on a large scale, there are groups of Black people that would be, quote unquote, considered to have it together, that are in the trenches trying to make sure that what they were given is spread to other people in their community. It's not enough from what I see, because I'm out there, but there are small groups. So those groups of people, some in my circle that I see that, quote unquote, have it together, have a responsibility. But when we're talking about as a whole, this country, well, I mean, no matter what statistic you look at, every statistic will say that we are at the bottom economically compared to white people. That's just what it is. So, yeah.
I don't understand. White people finna be like, oh, y'all not suffering. For real. We lied and then don't give us what is owed. So do we want reparations? They'll stop making us look. I don't understand what one thing has to do with the other. I don't think you have to be no nigga to get reparations. Reparations is owed.
Right.
They don't get to judge our social, cultural. They don't get to judge black on black crime. They don't get to judge watermelon fried chicken, which I absolutely love. They don't get to judge none of that shit. A crime has taken place and we want what is owed. We'll figure that out. I wish a white man would, you ain't suffered enough. Y'all ain't doing it. You're still cooning or you're not cooning. It looks prosperous to me. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. I don't care if we look like Mr. Monopoly in this motherfucker. A crime has occurred and you owe us.
Yes. You even have white people in some of the absolute poorest part of this country that would benefit from government benefits, and they refuse them because of their political views. Mm-hmm. They rather sit there with one tooth in their mouth eating cold beans because they refuse, assistance because it's a government thing and that's their right. But that doesn't stop the,
Mm,
assistance from being there. So that's just a comparison that I'm using. Like there could be thousands and thousands of Black people that could come out and say, I don't want those reparations. I want to pull myself up by my bootstraps, but the reparations are still owed. And they, that's not gonna stop. So
mm,
yeah.
mm. Absolutely, absolutely. They owe us that. So listen, you guys, man, I appreciate anybody shouting words. I've been on here like 3 some hours, man. I'm about to wrap it up. Any party angel, thank you for jumping on. You got to contact me. I don't know why you mad at me. You want to share?
It's all good. It's all love,
You
always.
sure?
Hmm.
All right. All right, man. For real, man. I don't want to offend. Great support. You have been a day one from day one. I dare I say I've only ever heard you have good words for everybody. If you mad at me, I'm only suspecting is because you were like, yeah, we worked so hard to try to bring the peace, and you up there doing that shit. So that's the only thing I can think about. But man, you my day one from day one. MD. What's up, man? You got some parting words, brother? I'm glad you jumped up here. You know what?
Nah, yeah, peace, peace. I was just listening in on the conversation. I was busy on that damn CB. Yeah, yeah. Trying to get a better understanding on what derived the manosphere and the woman sphere and all that thing. That's what I would like to know. You know what I mean? I can only see it from my perspective, but it's good to know from a female point of view how it all
Okay.
took place. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, it's at the point where you'll ask 10 different women, MD, and they'll give you 10 different answers because it's actually been going on for a very long time. Like we're now over a decade of when it started. So everybody's going to have their perspective based on when they first came in to these spaces and maybe the people they know that give them their perspective. Yeah, if you have any specific questions, we can always talk about it later. But anytime I have these discussions, it's all about, so what are we going to do going forward? That's really what matters, because we're not going to stop the foolishness. Just like to Yanga's point, I'm over that, Yanga. Like I don't have nothing to do with goes on when people start going at each other. I just think it's limits to it. I
Mm-hmm.
think that it's a limit that shouldn't get crossed
Mm-hmm.
when we're dealing
Mm-hmm.
with our own people. But yeah, it's spiraled so far out of control. We at the point of now we got to take something back. You know, we got to be
Mm-hmm.
a different voice.
I totally agree. Uh Trevor, man. Friday is my baby's birthday, man. He'll be 18.
Mhm.
18,
Oh,
yo. My bonus,
congratulations.
thank you. My bonus boy. I've been in his life when I came into his life, man. My bonus son, he has been nothing but a blessing. He was 2 years old.
Mhm.
Now he the coolest, man. He's drug free, no cigarettes, grades out of this world. You probably heard me brag on him before. He's going to college. He decided, yeah, I'm gonna share with him. He's gonna stay in Georgia the first 2 years. Then he's gonna roll out, which is cool because I get a couple more years to work with him on maneuvering and getting out of the home and being a black man in society. So I'm thankful that he's doing his first two in Georgia. But man, I wish I could be there, but I'm just, my boy's 18th. You got to be there, man. We got him there. Whew, got him to
Yes,
18,
Yanga.
baby.
Please remind me on Friday so I can send him something. Happy birthday to the
Oh,
young man. That's
I would tell
wonderful.
him. I sure would tell him, man, because he deserves. He is a hard worker. Now I like for him to remember his damn chores more. I keep got to remind him to take the trash out. But other than that, man, he's absolutely fantastic, man. He's a great boy, great young man, great young man. Before he hears me, oh, he's at school. Um,
Can I just address what Trevor was asking in the chat?
yes, please.
It's not going to be this Friday, Trevor. I actually took all the stuff down off of my channel. Thank you for asking,
I
but
saw that.
yeah, I took everything down at one point because it's something that I'm going through right now. I decided that I wasn't going to do anything, but I have to tell you, I'm going to share. I planned on doing something later, like in a week or two. Blue recorded a song for me. Now, Rio already recorded a song, but I wanted a song from both of them. I wanted to have one as the intro and one as the outro because I just love that, I love to support both of them.
Mhm.
When I heard the words from Blue's song, I said, I'm not going to give up on what I wanted to do. Nobody's going to stop
Damn.
me from doing my comedy show. It inspired me. It made me cry when I heard it. So yeah, I'm definitely going to do it. It's just going to take a couple of weeks, but I'm going to get back into it. So thank you for asking. No, you won't be overstepping a Friday show. I'm looking forward to your show if I'm around on Friday.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm hoping maybe I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna peep in. I'm gonna be listening. I'm gonna be listening. You gotta peep in. Shouts out. I appreciate everybody falling through gynocracy. Definitely. Thank you. I owe you a big ass apology. I don't know if you guys called early this morning. I woke up, did my little prayer, got my coffee, rushing to get my coffee. I saw gynocracy on. I wanted to talk about the show she and Juju had. Jumped on, just totally disrupted her programming and everything. Thank you, sister, for being gentle with your big brother. And thank you for jumping on here, man, and supporting me and going back and forth with my black ass. Because I be having questions. And I call you my wild little sister. Because I don't know what's gonna come out of your mouth. We're gonna go back and forth, but I appreciate you being a part of the Reno family, bringing that little bit of element of spice. Definitely got to send shouts out to you again, Angel. Thank you for jumping up here, bringing that insight, and really, I love it because I think it kind of reiterated the point I was making, and giving us updates on what's going on. Trevor Show, Friday. Check it out. I'm gonna be there. I want to be on it because you and I got to talk, Trevor. You be making some good points and stuff, but we got to talk. Shouts out to my man, MD. I wanted to say this. It scares the shit out of me sometimes when MD and I agree. Sometimes MD and I agree. He'll shoot that shot. Oh, shit. Yang is slick capitalist. Yang is a slick. Shouts out to the executioner, El Presidente, MD, Vencat. Shouts out Deacon, Twin, gotta send shouts out to Schnupp. I can't call you the mighty one, you know what I'm saying? But the big one, Mr. Big One himself, Bossman, Snup 7, everybody that's out there. I want to applaud. Let me just say that, man. I'll be sending shouts out all night. I got you go. At that, man, God say peace.